There we go.
It's 1:30 already. It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Morning Roast. It's been a little while since I was on here doing it, so we're back. I am, of course, Mr. Evans. Unfortunately, Mr. Sim is not with us today. He had to go get a test ran on him, unfortunately, and because of that, and then everything, I kind of slept in. I guess because I haven't done it for a couple days. So a little late, but we're getting going. And today we have with us Mr. Brian Menard of Dojo Comics.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no worries. And as always, in the chat, we have our third host, Mr. Soul Ion, who says, "Welcome to the Morning Roast, where it's been a while, but we're back, baby. And after all those werewolf books, it's double kitty time today." Good morning, Chris, Brian, and chat.
Oh, good morning. Thank you.
Let's see who we got. Our Pale Rider. We've got Yodam. Hail, hail. Greg losing his mind at me. Who else is in there? Oh, Mr. Feed. Hey, Mr. Feed. And of course, Bristolia Dave. All right. Me babbers. Mr. Brian. How are you this morning?
I'm good. It's great to be here. It's great to start talking about Siamese and really getting folks to know about the book. I've been around the chat for a while in CG, but Bancroft said, before you launch, maybe you ought to get on a bunch of streams and talk about the book itself, because it's one thing to know the creator, but if you're going to get some potential backers, they need to get excited about the project itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're absolutely right. So you did get on Bancroft's was it last night, right?
Yeah, it was last night. It was a lot of fun. He had several other creators on too, and we were all sort of launching our mailing lists, getting folks interested in Testament, the Mavericks, and then, of course, mine, Siamese.
Oh, that's great. That's what Soul's saying at me. He said, "Sim, you mean the guy who drooled all over that weak-ass Snyder Cut trailer? We don't need that activated energy here." So he's not even here to defend himself. Oh my! Did you see that Snyder Cut trailer, Brian?
I did. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, so oh no, Brian's defending Sam. David says, "Damn, Mr. Menard, I saw like 4 very well-rounded points in favor of Siamese." David, bonk David, you're going to the horny jail.
The AAT, got to bring the AAT.
Oh my! So let me bring up the Dojo or Siamese mailing list here. All right. Oh, you got a video?
Yeah, if you want to hit the trailer, I had that done by Red Gaze. He does a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, but you definitely got to watch it then. Red always.
Did you share with audio?
I hope so. Let me do it again because it was being weird for some reason. Share screen. Share audio. There we go. Siamese. All right. Click the button. There we go.
And you want to go full screen, Chris?
From Dojo Comics comes Siamese, the story of 2 Chinese-American college graduates whose deviation gene make them extraordinary enough to become superheroines. This trade paperback combines the 4-issue Siamese miniseries previously published by Dojo Comics. As our ladies discover their newfound power, we'll be introduced to other Dojo-kun comics characters such as the Countryman, Breathtaker, Brickhouse, the Scarlet Archer, and Psionica. Dojo-kun Comics has released over a dozen comics so far. You can pledge with confidence knowing that obligations will be fulfilled. Superheroes are coming back. Don't miss out on Siamese.
Red Gaze loves playing with those animations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he always does a bang-up job.
When I saw his trailer for Shadow of the Kraken, Vinny Tartamella's book, I was like, oh, I got to get in touch with this guy.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, he did a great job with it.
Yeah, I told him I wanted some Japanese hip-hop trap music on there, and he found a really good one.
Let me check the chat here, make sure I didn't miss anything they got going on here. AAT is Alpha Man Champion approved. Soul sharing out the links. Thank you as always, Soul.
Yeah, thanks, Soul.
Oh, Greg's saying, not gonna lie, Siamese is greater than Catwoman. Twins trump Solo.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. So we're getting us a superhero book. We don't get those. We haven't been getting those too often in the Indiegogo market. And so it's like it is like a cat themed heroines.
Yeah.
And
So go ahead.
So this is all like books that have been done before, and you're kind of collecting them back into one.
Right. Yeah. The first miniseries that really this was the story that launched Dojo-kun Comics is Siamese. It's 4 issues long, so I'm collecting them into this trade paperback. But I'm also going to include some behind the scenes concept art, some fan art, and some other extras in the book. And of course, with the campaign, there will be add-ons and other perks. And this trade paperback is going to have a regular cover and then 5 variants. And one of those variants is going to be hardcover.
Oh, nice.
So then this miniseries called Siamese sets up several other superheroes and superheroines, and it leads into the next miniseries. And number 1 of that miniseries is almost done. It's called Deanna, Hammer of the Angels. That's going to be also 4 issues. Then when that one wraps up, it'll go right into my ongoing team book called Trident's New Alliance. So Dojo-kun has books planned out for several years.
Okay. Yeah, I'd heard that in this in the trailer that it was introducing a bunch of new characters. So this is kind of like a stepping on point for the universe and
right
and everything. And Bristol Day says, "Book's already done. That's great. Nothing worse than waiting a year for a book."
Oh yeah,
I agree completely.
You will not be waiting a year. I put the when the campaign launches, you'll see that I have a estimated fulfillment of September, but I like to under promise and over deliver. I expect it'll be sooner than that.
Yeah, that's always good. And you've said there that you've been doing this for quite some time.
Right. Yeah. Since about 2012, I worked for 2 other small press companies before launching my own. And if we have a chance to look at my website, we'll scroll down and see the works for those companies. But you'll also see on the website that I published 12 comics with Dojo-kun. So, it may come across as a little bit of braggadocio, but the reason I'm saying it is I'd like the potential backers to see that although I'm new to CG, I'm not new to publishing, and this will be fulfilled.
Yeah,
I've already got my Gemini mailers. I've already got the stuff from the post office. So yeah, I'm getting ready.
Yeah, you're wanting people to know that you're very serious about this and that they can count on you to be reliable and
yes, sir.
have as much faith in you as they can.
And then, of course, when they see the artwork. So, yeah, let me talk about that for a second. The artwork is it's two different artists. For issues number 1 and 2 of Siamese, it was a guy named Mike Salter. And I discovered Mike in a nursing magazine. I was in a hospital waiting room, just bored out of my mind, just looking through whatever was on the table next to me. And there was an ad for some nursing program there, and it was done in like a single page comic book style. And so I contacted the ad agency and I said, "Hey, could you get me in touch with the artist on this?" And when I asked him to be, he was like, "Yeah, that sounds kind of cool." But the only reason he was only on issues number 1 and 2 is because he's actually a fine art portrait painter. And that really takes precedence in his life. That's his main source of income. And he had some big commissions come in. So then I found, this is perfect, what you have on the screen right now, because Mike's art is on the left. And then I hired Zilson Costa from Brazil. His art is on the right. And Zilson, not only is he as good as you can see here, but he's also very fast. And his ability to correctly interpret my script is incredible. When he sends me a finished page, I'm sort of my own editor, and I scour that page carefully for consistency, for continuity. I'm looking for things to correct. I almost never find something that needs correcting. He is so good at interpreting my scripts. Now, he claims it's because they're well written, and that's nice, but the fact that he can interpret it so well, and there's a little bit of a language barrier. Obviously he speaks Portuguese, and but his English is pretty well developed, but not spot on, but for his ability to interpret, I'm very impressed. He's also going to be the main artist on another of my books that hopefully we'll talk about sometime.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome on. Yeah, it sounds like he meshes very well with you, and you'll have a good working environment.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of Brazilians, we got Stefani Renee in the chat. Hello, sir.
Stefani, how you doing?
Looking forward to Thomas More. Let's see here.
Yeah, I back Thomas More. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Oh yes, Greg. People are hyped for Scarab. Yes, I'll have to get them on whenever it gets closer to time for that to talk about Scarab. That's gonna be a cool one.
Indeed. Brain Cage has some great stuff coming up.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? So Greg says even though Brian's head appears to be a giant penis, do not underestimate him.
Oh, he's going after the dome. You know what? Grass doesn't grow on a busy street, my friend. And there's only a few perfect heads in the world, and the rest are covered with hair. So there you go.
There you go. David says, "Myra is Italian. I got the same. I feel like art surpasses language barriers."
Agreed. Yep.
Hey, Beyond Time. Hello, sir. Need to get you back on too.
Hail Beyond Time.
Yeah. Let's see. So while we're at it, let me bring up your website.
Lots going on there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's always cool to see people with their own websites and stuff outside of Indiegogo, some other way of people to sell their books or something that they can show off to people.
Right. So yeah, near the top, there's the discussion of the pre-launch email sign up for Siamese. And talks about collecting the 4 issues, and then there's actually a preview there. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see some of the add-ons. There'll be chibi stickers by Alex Thompson. There's a keychain. There's a poster there on the right by Pust. There will be a challenge coin that will be one of the stretch goals. On the left there, the canvas print, the cartoony style Siamese. That's actually done by the co-creator of Siamese. His name is Sai Lim, and he's from New Zealand. Oh, so cool. That canvas print will be available, and there's some collectible poker chips. And that's just like scratching the surface of what's available.
Yeah, I was gonna put the cartoony print as the thumbnail for the show, but I couldn't get it to work. I was like, yeah, I like that one.
The guy who did that, he works for a company which is basically New Zealand and Australia's version of Amazon. It's called Mighty Ape. And you can buy pretty much any products there, but he does a lot of their advertising, and his art. Well, first of all, they have licenses to DC, Marvel, Star Wars. I mean, he can create like ape versions of just about anything. And he does the cartoony style, but he's also fantastic with regular, comic book style.
Mhm.
So every now and then he and I can work together, but he's super busy.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's got all those licenses and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's a book that'll be coming out later this year. It's called The Shifter. We won't get too detailed into it now because, maybe I'll come back on and talk to you about it. But basically, I've purchased the license to adapt 3 novels into graphic novel form. So this is by author Janice Hardy, and she's excited to see it in comic book form. And, I've already got the pages started. I subscribe to the idea that you really ought to get as much of the book done as you can before you launch your product. So I'm getting that underway. And, the funding for Siamese might help this move along as well. And then the art you'll see if you scroll down a little bit there is Zilson Coste again, the one who did issues 3 and 4 of Siamese. And his art, coupled with H.G. Tobalina's coloring, is just making these pages phenomenal. I'm so excited to see their work together.
Oh, that's neat. You get the panels like a puzzle.
Yeah, he's pretty
cool.
creative, isn't he? I didn't even tell him to do that. That's his idea.
Yeah, that's different. Okay, yeah. So, what would you happen to know what kind of gosh dang phone, what kind of genre her books are? Is this like a young adult sort of
You know
thing,
what? It
or-
is young adult, but I think it really would appeal to adults as well. My fiance read it first and said, "Hey, I think you'd like this series." And I sure did, man. I read these 3 books pretty quickly, and I reached out to Janice. But the funny thing is, I told my friend about it. He said, "Oh, well, it's funny that you mentioned that. I actually work with her husband." So that's how he got me in touch with her, and it was great. It was a good rapport right from the start.
Yeah, that's small world.
Yeah, right. So there's the creative team on it. Myself, I wrote it, or I adapted it to comic book form script. Zilson is the artist. HG is the colorist. Matthias from Argentina is our letterer, and Rusty did the logo, and also helped with some campaign ideas.
Okay, yeah, I got a very colorful group of people here,
You bet.
all different kinds.
Very international staff.
Naya and Sertanic.
Oh, that's the main protagonist and antagonist in The Shifter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the look of this fella. He's got some kick-ass goggles. Oh, all right, and we got the trading cards.
I'm going to have that. I don't know exactly how soon I'm going to get to that. I've got some comics to push and fulfill first, but I know a lot of folks are interested in trading cards, so this will be the first set the Dojo-kun puts out.
We get to see some. No, we're getting to see some of the different characters that's going to be introduced in the comic.
That's right.
Hey, you got merch.
Apparel for those of you that would really like to rep Dojo-kun for me.
Yeah, so where did the name come from, Dojo-kun Comics?
Oh, yeah, thanks for asking. The Dojo-kun are the 5 rules of the karate dojo. I've been a karate student since college, which has been a couple days since, I'm 54 today. So, the Dojo-kun are respect others, endeavor, seek perfection of character, be faithful, and avoid violent behavior.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh man, I'm not keeping up with the chat here. Let's see here. Oh, Greg's saying Rusty Gilligan looks like a funny character. Does Rusty stream?
You know what? Rusty is a former child actor. He was on several television shows.
Oh wow.
And he was in the WWE.
What?
Yeah, in fact he was injured while wrestling, and he currently does comics full time. He's got one called Mac in Trouble, which is like 2 anthropomorphic cats. No relation to But he's very helpful. He's got lots of great ideas as far as merchandise and all that. So I turn to him now and then. But yeah, it's great that he's been such a celebrity and still so helpful to us small guys for now.
Yeah. Now I'm really wanting to know what he was doing in the wrestling, who he was. I'll go watch some of his matches. Let's see. Gosh dang it. Every time I go to move the chat, it jumps all the way down to the bottom. Hey, Mr. Cox. He says, morning, gents, and Kino Subway.
Morning, Jim.
Soul says the trading cards look appealing, but could use some backgrounds.
Yeah, there's different schools of thought on that. I really want to focus on the characters. If you didn't see the backs of them, but if you were to see the back, not only does it have the stats of the characters, but it has their first appearance. So like the very first panel they appeared in will be on the back, and a few other pieces of art. Plus, I list on the back what their first appearance is. So if you're interested in the character, you can go find that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I always like the like how Marvel had them, where they had like the little stats and the background and the first appearance and all that little details in the back of the card.
Yeah, there used to be a time where Marvel did some great stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Not so much lately, but there was a time.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with Marvel in ages.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Yeah, Pistoia Dave. He says, "What was Rusty's wrestling name?" He wants to know too.
You know what? I actually think it was Rusty Gilligan. I think he was playing off his fame as a child actor, or continuing it. So,
yeah, I'm gonna have to be searching on YouTube or something, see if what I can come up with after the stream. Like, I wonder what he does. Let's see. Greg saying there isn't much room on a trading card for backgrounds. All right. Back to the website there. And take a little detour, keep up with the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got another coming soon.
Yeah, this one here, this Megan War. I'm working with a former Disney animator named Arias Hernandez. He did work on The Lion King, on Tarzan, and Kim Possible for Disney. He drew this. His girlfriend does the coloring, and he asked me, would I be willing to publish this under my banner? And I was like, well, I do have some creator-owned stuff, so if you want to send. And then he sent me this, and I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Yeah, let's get you. I mean, wow, dude, your art is phenomenal. So he's excited about this. He's sending me pages, and it was first written, of course, in Tagalog, the language of the Philippines. So he translated it to English, but I need to clean it up a little bit. So I'm acting as his editor. Having been a proofreader in a prior life, he and I are working pretty well together. It's not ready for publishing yet, but I just wanted to sort of get it out there as to get people interested in it. It sounds like it's going to be a great story.
Yeah, I mean, it's never a bad idea to kind of let people know, hey, this is going to be out there one day,
Right.
Keep it in people's minds.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting. So you also put other people's works out under your label then?
That's right, I do. And in certain arrangements, of course, I can't talk finances, but in certain arrangements, the only thing I do is put it on my banner, and any sales of this book will go to him.
Okay. Are you you're gonna try to, with all your books, try to do the whole get the book done before, as much as possible before you launch?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Team up in time space.
Yeah, this here, there was a creator who asked us if we'd like to participate with just one of our characters and have Cody Conyers do the art. I think he did a great job. This poster here on the right there is sort of an homage to a Justice League poster that was done. And so Deanna, the Hammer of the Angels, is one of the characters, the one from Dojo Kun. All those other characters are from other creators, other publishing universes that came together to be a part of his comic Team Up in Time Space.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that idea. To have to have somebody from all these different kind of indie things kind of into one book.
Right. Yeah, it's been fun to be a part of it.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Oh, and we're back to Siamese.
Yeah, so what you've reached now is all of the books that Dojo Kun Comics has published. So you've got the Four Siamese, there's Toro Tales #1, Night Mist and the Scarlet Archer, Alliances. Alliances is going to be a lot like Brave and the Bold or Marvel 2-in-1, where there's one character who's sort of always the host and then rotating guests. So Breathtaker, you can see in the upper left corner there, she's going to be the host of the book. And then she'll have a different guest each time it comes out. I wish I could say monthly, but I think we all know better than that. The Dojo Kun Comics annual compendium there on the right is my basically my homage to like the official handbook of the Marvel Universe or Who's Who in DC Comics. It's an encyclopedia of my characters, and there's over 100 characters in that book, with their almost full page picture and all of their stats, backgrounds, first appearance, powers, things like that. Just below that, the Loved Ones, I worked with David Whalen on that. He gave me the concept. I wrote the book, and then he did all of the art and lettering. It's a black and white horror adventure book. It's over 100 pages. There's 2 of them there. The first one on the left there is available for sale through Dojo Kun. And then if you click on the one on the right, I'm not suggesting you do, but I'm saying if somebody does, they'll actually be taken to his website, Correct Handed Publications, for the second printing. So, we collaborated on that, and, we work well together, and he's got a whole lot of great books. You may want to reach out to David and get him on your show.
Right.
To the right of that are the first 2 issues of Mad King. It's a 3-issue miniseries. The first cover there with all the skulls, that's actually David Whalen's art again. But the interiors and the cover to #2 there are fully painted interiors by Annette Bell. Every panel in the book is a painting, not line art. So that's, I think, a sort of a unique take on things. And then on the far right there, I Am Become Death. It was a prose short story that Nicholas Prontka had written and asked me if I would be willing to adapt that in a comic book form. It's a short story, so only 12 of the pages of that are the I Am Become Death. But I can tell you it's sort of a space opera, and there's a pretty surprising twist. I can't give it away because then you wouldn't want to buy it, but there's a surprising twist in it, which I thought was killer. That's why I did that. And then in the back of that book, there's a gallery of fan art and pinups of Breathtaker. So,
Okay. Yeah.
and then of course in development is Magon War, Deanna Hammer of the Angels, like I said, which will go into Trident's New Alliance. And for those of you not paying attention, the abbreviation of Trident's New Alliance is TNA. Just saying. So you'll see that there's 11 members of the group, but 8 of them are female. And then Toro Tales #1 is my anthology book. That's actually, that's the cover of #2. In that one, there's going to be 8 different short stories in that one with different artists and colorists that just showcasing new characters and new talent.
Okay. Yeah, we all, good of you to mention that. Definitely the audience here does love the TNA.
Yep. AAT it's called in CG, but yeah.
But I do like the compendium. I used to love those Marvel books. I had a few of them when I was little. I had the what was it called, Books of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
And all. Oh man, I used to love going through reading all the lore and stuff of Marvel. So yeah. Now how do I go about, like, say, wanting to buy one of these?
You can actually click on the image and it'll take you to Indie Planet.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
print to order. So there's not a whole bunch of boxes in my garage or anything. They print it when you order it and send it to you. But please, if you order, let me know if it gets to you okay. There's been some packaging issues with them. So
Oh, okay.
if it doesn't get you okay, I will remedy that. Please let me know.
I know my stuff has been really late getting here. I did finally get Anthony Figueroa's book. I need to message him and let him know. But is that werewolves or is that the Siamese?
Those are Siamese.
Oh no.
Yeah. Things aren't going well for them in issue #4.
For a second, I thought we had another werewolf in our show. I was like, we're getting a lot of werewolves here.
Nope, those are were-cats, I guess.
That poor gentleman down there.
Well, he shouldn't have messed with them then.
He's like, well, at least I'm fighting some hot chicks, and it's like, oh no, oh no.
So under this developments section is, the various places I've had media mentions or appearances. But if you scroll down beneath those, it's down a ways. There's a sort of a mini gallery of some of my characters. And then the prior work that I talked about for the other companies is down a ways as well. So there's the sort of a few of the characters. So that's Deanna, Hammer of the Angels, Starfrost, Fierce, Electric Eye. My universe is Big Bad Mortosis, The Animates, Breathtaker, Coltrane, and Canadian Shield.
Ooh.
And then the books that I wrote for other companies, Shadow Faction 1, 2, and 3, The Commander. The art there is by Willie Roberts from, guess where? Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil seems to keep pumping out artists.
Yeah, great artists. On the Brink of the Universe, we can switch it up there. That artist is from Russia.
Ooh. I haven't really seen a lot of Russian artists coming around in my streams.
Right.
So that's good. That's what I was saying the other day to somebody. I think it was either my mother or my brother. I was saying about how we get all these like international people on the stream and stuff. And I was like, I haven't had anybody from Russia yet. The Wardens, Affinity Spotlight. Yeah, you've done a lot of work. Red King. Ooh, look at that guy on Red King Presents. That's cool, like a barbarian fella.
Yeah, the artist there is Nikhil. He's also Russian.
I better check the chat here. Oh,
Uh-oh, things blowing up.
We got St. Comics with us. He says, Boob looks awesome. He's a book. Oh, no. Either one works.
That was a Freudian slip, I think. He had boobs on the mind.
Soul Ion says, Megan War is a Shay cosplay waiting to happen. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been on Red Valkyrie yet? Don't you?
Nope. I am scheduled to be on there, though.
Oh, great.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
She'll probably like that, Megan War. Soul says, we need to contact the guy from the team up and ask if he can put Chris in a red dress on the team. Gosh, dang it, Soul. Don't say that. You're going to get Pale Rider started. Let's see. All right. He puts the link for your site.
Thank you, Soul Ion.
Soul is always on point. Greg saying, Brian, I heard that you have the most epic crossover of the year coming soon. What's up with that?
Oh, yeah, good. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a nice segue. So, you know that Siamese their origins would be from Siam, the old country, which is now known as Thailand, right?
Right.
Well, Thailand is a protectorate of China, and the simians that come from China are known as orangutans. So, Siamese should cross over with AR-15 orangutan, Mo Big's non-existent but soon to be willed into existence book. And I don't know if I can share screen. I can bring up.
Okay.
Let me do this real quick. I gotta get into my character files.
Mm-hmm.
I actually commissioned an artist to bring us the first appearance of AR-15 orangutan and his buddy Gunny Gorilla. So I have it here. So let me see. I'm kind of a noob at this, but let me see if I can do this. Share screen. Okay, I don't have to share audio, so there's no worries there. Okay, so can you share that, Chris?
Stop sharing. Right. There we go.
And there we are.
Let me full screen that. Look at that.
It's AR-15 orangutan and his buddy Gunny Gorilla. But as Michael pointed out last night, Gunny Gorilla, he doesn't survive but the first page. All of the simians that we were, like Bazooka Baboon and 9mm Monkey, they all don't survive the first page.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah,
that's awesome.
AR-15 orangutan is going to have to cross over with Siamese just because of the China connection.
Oh lordy, yeah, you're. That's gonna end up. That's gonna be a thing. We're gonna.
Yeah,
that's what
I
it's
think
gonna
we're going to
be.
will it into existence. And I should mention the art on that commission there was by a Filipino artist named Nikoy Katantoy.
Oh. So saying, Brian, don't make Chris go online shopping during the stream. You don't want that. No, you don't. David feeds us breathtaker. David is simping for your character.
Awesome.
Sil says, Canadian Shield, too bad Sim isn't here. I wanted to ask him why Vincent in Bloodhunt had his vampire outfit before he became a vampire. That's so silly.
Okay.
Gunny Gorilla.
You know what? If we're talking about breathtaker, let me pull up the art by Cy Lim, the guy from New Zealand. Incredible art. Let me get to my final gallery pieces.
Alrighty.
Where is his work? Here we are. Oh, paint can't read that one. All right, yeah. I don't have Photoshop like some of you fancy guys. Where can I show that to you? Oh man. Because it's a TIFF file, paint can't open it. It's too much for that meager program to do. I wonder if I can.
Yeah, don't ask me. I don't know how any of this works.
Well, here, you know what? Maybe this is as close as I can get. Let me come back over to you. I'll share screen. And then I'll jump back over to this. So let me know if you can see this gallery of breathtaker art. Oh, I jumped out of it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so far I don't see nothing showing up. Wow, I'm waiting here. He Soul says it's as if someone saw Brian Kreisgau's book thinking I can top that. And then Greg says, I was going to back the crossover until I discovered that Gunny Gorilla is only in a couple pages. Sad face.
Okay, I'm sorry. For some reason, it's not sharing screen properly, so no go on that.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's no worries. I can't get that stuff to work half time anyhow either. Yeah, I am. Let me bring back up while we're sitting here. I'll bring back up the website. Some of these look pretty. Yeah, some of these I'm really interested in, like the Megan War and this Deanna Hammer of the Angels looks pretty cool. Yeah, all this stuff looks pretty neat. I will probably end up getting this annual compendium.
You know what? If you give me a second here, I can give you a little bit of a preview.
Oh, okay.
Like here's a page that's got brick house. Whoops, here. Oh, I got to get used to the camera. There's brick house. Canadian Shield is over here. Here's another section. So this alien here is Huthua. And we've got Hullabaloo. She's Hourglass. So anyway, it's like that. Some of them though are, let me see if I can find a good example of And when it comes to teams, I do the headshot with their first appearance and when they joined or left the team.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I like that because that'll be real great. I'm definitely gonna probably pick it up because that'll give me a good give me a good idea and a good big first step into the universe and everything.
Oh, and then in the back, I feature the armor and weapons and helmets and
Oh,
hammers
okay.
and
Yeah, so you got a paraphernalia section. So to
right.
speak. Yeah, that's
And we were
pretty
talking on Bancroft's show about mechs. There's actually a mech in the Dojo-kun universe.
awesome.
So his name is Tiny, or the mech's name is Tiny, but Technosmith is the character.
Oh, okay.
So that's sort of my homage to Madison Jeffries and Box from the Alpha
That's
Flight days.
that's who I was just thinking of when you said Mac was Box. I had I had like one or two copies of Alpha Flight, and I always thought he was unique. You know, he was a guy in a wheelchair with like I remember he didn't have legs or something like
Right.
that, cut off
Yep.
at the knees, and I remember him jumping out of the wheelchair and then turning in the box and or whatnot and fighting, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was able to meld with his mech.
Yeah, I thought that was real different. Let's see what they're saying. Soul says today we also mourn the fate dealt to our friend Bristolian Dave, who bought the Blu-ray of the Predator, thinking that oh no, thinking that the cover looked cool. Oh, you poor soul. Oh, poor Dave. That was not a good use of your money. All right. Soul says that's cool. Reminds me of old video game manuals. Oh yes, the old days when you would get really awesome stuff with your video game. Oh man, I remember I bought a game called like Star Siege back in the day, and it had this big thick book, and it was like this big thick lore book. It told you everything about the universe. It was great back then. Greg says paraphernalia. Chris is a junkie confirmed. I'm not a junkie.
You call it paraphernalia instead of accessories, so I can see where he's going with that.
It's because that's what it used to call it in some of the stuff I used to read.
Okay, yeah, you can go with that. I get it.
I've never done a drug in my life.
Okay.
I am what do they call it? Straight edge? I don't know. Dave says that reminds me of Tiny from Dota 2. Does he grow massive too?
Well, he already is massive, so he's a mech, so he's got to have all of that armament and weapons and all that, and still have space for a person inside. So he's already pretty big. And in fact, the trading card of Technosmith is a special like perk. It's an exclusive card that you can't just buy it with the set of 9. There's going to be a special way to get the trading card of Technosmith.
Awesome. All right, let's see here. F for Dave. Jim Cox says boring. Well, I'm sorry, Dave. Sorry, Mr. Cox. I'm not entertaining.
I hope what he means is the fact that neither of us have done drugs, not my books.
No, I'm sure it's not about the books.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, the books look awesome. I am gonna get me that compendium. That looks cool. I'll be like, as soon as that comes in, I'll just be like, ooh. I'll just be going through it.
And you know what? I really value customer feedback. So once you take a look at it, please let me know what you think.
Oh,
if there's anything you think can be improved for the second annual compendium, I'd be happy to hear it.
Let's see here. Oh, there we go. He says, drugs are good, okay? Oh, gosh. I think he was probably calling me boring because I didn't do any drugs.
Well, I have to be fully transparent. Neither have I.
I'm glad I'm not alone. Like I've never done a drug. I don't have any tattoos. I've lived, I guess, quite a boring life. I guess by a lot of
Uh-oh.
people's standards.
Well, I can't commiserate with you on the ink. I've had some ink done.
Oh, that's okay. My brother, he's got a bunch. He's got them all down his arms.
Oh, does he have a sleeve?
Stuff. Yeah, he's got. Well, it's not a sleeve. He just has a bunch of different ones all down.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, my friend Will, he's got sleeves. He's got like both sleeves on both arms, and I think stuff on his legs, and they're all anime characters too.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, he's got like a.
Oh, I was
Naruto
impressed for a minute.
Oh yeah, he's got like One Piece, Naruto, and all these other anime people all down his like legs and arms, and oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't go with that, but whatever floats your boat. Greg says this is like a retirement home party. When does bingo start?
Hey, just because I'm at a higher level than you. Like today I leveled up to 54, so there you go.
Oh, today's your birthday?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That's awesome. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank
What
you.
are you doing to spending it with us?
Are you kidding? This is great. Getting my book out there. This is a great way to spend some time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had been I'd seen you in the chat and everything, but I didn't realize you had such a, history here with books. So you put out all these books and done all this work.
You know what? That's a good segue. Let me let you know how I got into CG. It's all because of Greg. So I'm in about 30 different Facebook groups that are indie comic related, and I was posting these characters. And Greg said, "Hey, dude, you got some good characters there, but I wouldn't post those out there until they're in comic books." I'm like, "Huh, funny you should mention that. Let me show you my website." And he's like, "Oh, wow, okay. So have you considered being a part of CG?" And I was like, "What is that?" So he told me all about it, and I did some reading. I did go to the Wikipedia site and, read that with caution. I'm sure it was written by somebody who is anti-CG, but,
Yeah.
I know well enough that as I was reading it that, it was done with a bias. So I did some more research, and I'm 100% CG. So anyway, yeah, Greg was the recruiter of Dojo Kun.
I wouldn't give Greg all that credit. So says I think there isn't enough Star Wars chat in here for Greg. Oh gosh, I'm not I don't keep up with Star Wars, so I can't really be real good at talking about that stuff. Oh, Greg says, or Mr. Cox says he'll be 53 next month. Dang on, Mr. Cox, I didn't know you were that old.
I'll save you a seat at the home.
Oh.
Bring your own walker.
Oh, come on now. You're not ready for that now.
Well, to hear my kids say it, I'm ancient, so.
I mean, hell, you appear to be based on what we can see here, you appear to be in good shape and everything. So
Thank
certainly
you. Karate helps with that.
Yeah, so I don't think you're going to be in any homes anytime soon. Let's see. Soul says, "Wow, it feels weird to be the youngest for a change." Star Wars chat. Ew. Oh, come on now, Greg. You're probably going to be first in line for that. What was it, High Republic or whatever book that's coming out. So when I haven't even asked the important thing. When are you launching Siamese?
I had intended originally to launch last night on Michael's show. I got onto a chat with Michael and Rob the Replicator and superfan Leroy, and we were talking about it, and they all suggested, we kind of know you, Dojo, but what we don't know is about your product, your project. So maybe go to pre-launch sign up first for a while so that we can learn about both, because it's important. People would like to back you because, they know you, but they're not going to just back you because you're you. They really need to see that it's a good quality product. So as much as I was kind of bummed that but I took their advice. So instead of launching, what I did was I put the pre-launch sign up. And so to answer your question, what I'd like to do is early April.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of backers, it's a blend, a little balance between, getting to know the creator and getting to know the product as well.
Right. Yeah, that's important. There have been a few books, I'll be honest, that I wasn't real excited about, but once I got on the stream and saw the creator and their passion, their excitement, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm backing this. Because not only, I mean, the book looks good. I might not have backed it just based on that, but now that I know the creator behind it, I'm going to back it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is infectious.
You're right. I mean, look at the launch just the other night. Michael Bancroft launched Star Circuit for Joe Catapano. It was fully funded in an hour and a half just on Bancroft's show.
Oh, wow.
That
Yeah,
was
great.
that was super exciting. We were all so happy for him.
Star Circuit got a big Bancroft bump, as he says.
You betcha.
Let's see here. Soul saying to Greg, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord Savior, the Mandalorian? Oh, Lord.
Did you see the hashtag?
Was it? I stand with Carano's boobs. Oh, God.
I'm with you.
Oh, my.
She is hot.
Yeah, she's a bad lady. Oh, Mr. Feed actually shared. Let's see here. Mr. Feed shared out your project here. Mr. Sabisi says there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 great reasons to back this project. He shared to the Siamese twins.
All right. Well, let me give one little spoiler here. In the book, it's stamped for mature audiences only, and there's a reason for that.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
yeah, they're not just going to be in costume. Let's just leave it at that. There's not a whole lot of gratuitous anything, but yeah, you may like it.
Oh, gosh. Miss David is going to probably back on day one.
I won't discourage that.
Oh, it says Yodam shared it too. Oh, okay. Do I have it up?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, it's really great of you guys. Yeah, we have a great chat. They're always very supportive, and they're definitely lovers of books. Let's see here. Something else. Oh, okay. Now, let's see. I gotta get your opinion here, Mr. Brian.
I've got lots of those.
I was tagged in this by Pale Rider. He says a conversation piece for the next morning roast, and then he posted this red dress.
Hey, if that's your look, go ahead and rock it. I don't judge.
Based on the white beard, this must be when I'm an old man red dress, Chris.
Maybe it takes you a while to finally, come out and be yourself.
Yeah, when I'm older, I just don't care anymore, and I'm just like, I'm coming out with it. We're doing it.
I've paid my dues.
Yep. I'm not even casting the charm spell. People just are enamored by me. That's all that is there. Old red dress wizard Chris there. Gosh dang it, Pale Rider.
Now that you've shown that, that's going to be a meme. You know that, right?
He's been giving me this for ages now, it feels like. He's been doing this to me. Oh, Lord.
Good of you to roll with it.
It's something all right. Oh my. All right, so lastly, we will jump back to the mailing list here. Boop.
Oh yeah, thanks for doing that. If you'll see that if you do sign up early, there's a free Siamese postcard print in it for you. Now that'll happen when we fulfill. I don't want to get into fulfilling that and then later fulfilling something else. This will be my first campaign fulfillment, so I want to make sure that I do it in a good organized fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense to put the free print with the everything else, bundle it all together.
That's right.
Let's see.
You know what? The fact that we're looking at Indiegogo reminds me. I wanted to talk about the fact that I did have a campaign out there in Kickstarter a while ago. It was for the shifter,
Okay.
but I took it down. And the reason I took it down is because what Kickstarter was doing to Vinny Tartamella, or what they weren't doing for him. When somebody in Kazakhstan copied all of his Indiegogo and made it a Kickstarter campaign, it was brought to their attention and they said, well, that doesn't violate our terms of service. And I'm sorry, I don't see how committing fraud wouldn't violate terms of service. Now, the reason I get so touchy about that is in my day job, Chris, I'm a certified fraud examiner, a certified anti-money laundering specialist. So when I see fraud, I'm actually obliged to report it. So first I went to Kickstarter to give them the benefit of the doubt, told them, why I was, contacting them, and they gave me the cold shoulder too. So I was like, well, then my next step is to take this to the Federal Trade Commission. The day I did that, they took it down. But the fact that it took that measure to get it done, I don't want to deal with Kickstarter anymore.
Yeah, I mean that just feels shady when you have to like really pull out the big guns to force them to do something about it.
Right. And as soon as they saw that, they should have said, you know what, this is a fake campaign. He hasn't really taken anyone's money yet, because with Kickstarter, you don't take anyone's money till you fulfill till you get funded. And he was a long way from funding the fake campaign. So nobody was taken for their money. But the fact that they were just willing to leave it up there was really sketchy.
Yeah, I mean that was just terrible. Yeah, I had already kind of cut back, stepped away from Kickstarter because it's communist. But when that happened, I said I'm never going to buy another Kickstarter book. That's messed up.
Yeah, when I see some friends or some folks on Facebook launching a Kickstarter campaign, I reach out to them, not like, oh man, I would never back you because of that, but I do let them know that they may be limiting their audience because of that. And I suggest that if they'd still like to do Kickstarter, they may consider also launching on Indiegogo or switching. Now, obviously, I'm not their boss. They can do whatever they want, but I try to reach out and gently let them know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see why not, throw another, take your project and launch it on Indiegogo as well. I don't see why not doing that. Why not to do that?
Right.
Because can't hurt. Wait, let's see here. Soul says that looks like the gender fluid Christmas version of Rince Wind from the Discworld novels. Oh, okay. Well, I'm famous.
Are we talking about the character in with the riding crop in her hand?
No, he was talking about me and.
Oh, you in the red dress. Okay.
And Greg says enamored. You misspelled gay, and you didn't even type it. Soul says Chris in a red dress is already a meme, and will see. No, it will not be included in a lot of CG books. Soul. God. Nobody's gonna want me in a dress in their book. Oh Lord.
Okay, now I got to figure out a way to make a cameo for you.
No, that's okay. You don't have to go through all that trouble. Right, Brian. Soul says Kickstarter being shady AF again. No surprise. Yeah, that's right. Oh my. But yeah, yes. Please do sign up, everybody, for this. This is obviously a good stepping on point for the universe, and get a nice introduction to all the different characters.
Last night Nefarious asked me what's the good place to start, and you're right, I answered Siamese #1, but it occurred to me that it might be helpful for me to post somewhere a Dojo-kun reading order. Like you've got all those books on there. Some of them are like not quite part of the universe, so those you can read in any order you'd like. But for the ones that are part of the Dojo-kun superhero universe, I think I'll do that. I think I'll do a reading order listing so that people can do that if they're really that interested, which is awesome. I love the fact that they see this and they'd like to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good idea. That way you can keep up with like the timeline of the universe and different events and things.
Right.
You said that the Siamese has like a mutagenic thing. Like, are they kind of like a mutant?
They are. I call it a deviation gene because mutant is copyrighted. It's co-copyrighted by DC and Marvel.
Oh, really?
So you got to be careful because particularly DC, they have a itchy trigger finger as far as litigation. So I don't want to get their attention, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just call it a deviation gene. And yeah, they're not all of my characters are mutants, but Siamese has that gene, and it's awakened when Dr. Bellowhund tries experiments on them, and he's the one who's the unfortunate one on the cover of number 4.
They didn't take kindly to his work.
That's right. But I don't want to get any more spoilery than that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta leave something for them to sink their teeth into.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be able to trademark mutant. That's such a generic kind of term. That's wild.
It could be that that's old news, and maybe it's not the case any longer. But because I found that, and it seemed to be a pretty credible source. I know that you can't believe everything you read online, but it seemed a pretty credible source, and I'm like, well, I don't want to risk it. I'll just use something else.
Yeah, better to play it safe.
On what you have on the screen right now, the guy that Siamese is fighting with on the right there, his name is an homage to the Beatles. His name is Rain, and Rain is a B-side single by the Beatles.
Oh,
I was looking for like a Storm kind of related name, so I reached out to my friend who is like the biggest Beatles fan ever. Oh, hey, Leroy, if you're watching this stream later, my apologies. I know how you feel about the Beatles. But anyway, that's the Rain there is an homage to the Beatles.
Yeah, I like Leroy. He's a fellow West Virginian. Let's see here. Greg says, I think Chris should shave his head, then put on the... Why would I shave my head before I put on the dress?
Hey, if you're going to go big.
No, I finally got my hair to start getting a little longer than normal. I ain't shaving it off now. Let's see here. And sing Nothing Compares to You? What in the world?
Wow, a Sinead O'Connor reference.
Wow.
Look at him. He's thinking about it. That's why he's blushing.
Sinead O'Connor. Oh, God. I haven't thought about Sinead O'Connor in ages. Let's see here. Oh, David Feed's got to go. He says, gotta go, mate. Siamese looks super sexy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, it was great having you with us, Mr. Feed. We gotta get you. I gotta get you back on the show. I gotta get all these people back on the show. Oh, Greg's telling you to never apologize to Leroy ever.
Well, I don't want to get timed out. When I was on his stream talking about the greatest albums of all time, I said Abbey Road by Four Guys Crossing the Street because I knew he would time me out if I actually used their name.
You're walking a fine line, Brian.
Yeah, right. I know. He said I almost. It was close.
Greg says Sinead is a badass. She took on the effing Pope.
Yep.
Well, so did Sim.
She ripped him up.
He got blocked for it. Oh, Lord. So, now the Siamese, you obviously, there's twins. Like, what is their personality with each other?
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, they have the twin rapport. They talk about themselves in the plural at all times. So They never use I. They always say we. They have a special relationship that goes beyond just twins, which you'll have to read the book to find out what that is. But
Oh.
in addition to that, the only difference between them as far as their costumes go are their tails. One is a black tail, one is a white tail. The one with the white tail is the older of the two by a few minutes. She's the more responsible one, the one that sort of mothers the younger of the two, but only younger by a few minutes. The one with the black tail is more reckless. She's like the wild spirit of the two. Um, Their names are Kiao Ya and Yao Ya. And if you look those up, you'll find out that both their first and last names refer to grace, agility. I figured that I would make their names meaningful if anyone were to look them up and see what do they mean in Chinese. In the book, my letterer is named Quen Tang, and Quen is a dual citizen. She's a Chinese Canadian citizen. She has an amazing story herself. She was in a really bad car accident, and she is quadriplegic. But despite that, she plays basketball on a team of folks who are also wheelchair bound. She rode her wheelchair up the Great Wall of China. She is just an amazing, capable individual despite what happened to her. And
Yeah.
she is actually helping me in some instances with the lettering because she'll put some of the words that Siamese speak in Chinese. And I don't mean in the, spelling it with American American letters, spelling a Chinese word. I mean, she's using the Chinese alphabet to put it in here. So that's pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, that's wow. You got such an interesting cast of characters on your teams.
Oh, I love that I've reached out to an international cast, that I've got people of all sorts of walks of life, whether it's people with physical challenges, people with different orientations, people with different ethnic backgrounds. It sounds like I'm not CG, but let me tell you this. I think diversity in comics, both in the creative staff and in the characters, is super important. The only thing that I would say is never make the book about that. If I have a character who's of an ethnicity, that's just one of their traits, like
Yeah.
blue eyes and brown hair. They just happen to have a skin color.
Mhm.
Fine. I'm never going to make the book about that, but I really think it's important to be diverse. I love that we all have differences, and I love celebrating those differences and learning from them. But I'm not going to try and shove it down your throat. So if
Yeah.
if you want to read about a diverse character, awesome. I've got diversity in my comics, but I don't teach you any lessons with it. They just are.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that kind of diversity of thought and everything, surrounding yourself with all kinds of different people and everything. You get to learn all kinds of new stuff, and you get kind of just grow as a person, by having them in your life.
Right. I'm learning some Tagalog words from Arias and Nicoy and several others. There's a prolific artist out there named Gilbert Monsanto, and he'll point out, please don't relate me to that evil company, Monsanto. But Gilbert is, I collect his pinups of all the indie characters that he does. I literally have over 1,000 pinups he's done of indie characters. A lot of
Wow.
them mine. He's done about 100 of my characters, and he's so good and so fast when he does them. But he's got so much on his plate that you need to be patient as far as when he gets them to you. But very great to work with and a prolific artist.
Yeah, that's pretty wild that he's done that many pinups.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pinups.
His art is going to be featured on the regular cover of Siamese, the trade paperback. In fact, that picture you brought up that has the two of them, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who, but someone in the chat said there's 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons to back Siamese. That picture is by Gilbert.
Oh, okay.
That's his pinup of Siamese.
Ah. Let's see. Greg says everyone in CG is cool with diversity.
Right.
And Soul says how the mainstream understands diversity is only surface level traits meant to divide people in basic categories. Actual diversity is deeper than that.
Amen, brother.
All right. Let's see here. On which these upcoming series, Deanna, Hammer of the Angels. So what's Deanna? What's her character about? Obviously, she's that character with the big hammer and.
Right. Yeah. The ironic thing about that is a hammer that size actually isn't a hammer. It's called a maul. But so Deanna was the leader of a small group of superheroes in the 1950s called Trident's Alliance, and she is immortal. A tragedy ends the group. She goes into retirement, basically, doesn't want to be a superhero anymore because of that tragedy. But some things happen in our current day, and she's recruited to lead Trident's new alliance. She's got a couple of quick cameos in the Siamese trade paperback. She's in a picture in the background, and she's mentioned on a monitor screen. But her first appearance isn't until Deanna Hammer of the Angels #1. And she ends up leading the team, Trident's new alliance. She is Heaven's disciplinarian. That's why she's called the Hammer.
Oh, okay.
So when angels get out of line, if they're not quite cast into Hades, she disciplines them. And then, like a lot of, I'm sorry if it's a comic book trope, but like, Wonder Woman, Angela, she's a heaven character who comes to Earth to be a superheroine. Hopefully, though, the characterization is different than the characters I mentioned.
Yeah, let me get that brought back up there. There we go. I always liked the comics that are set in like earlier time periods, like World War II, like the Invaders or All Star Squadron, or stuff that's set even earlier. Stuff that's just not set, in like say, the modern day. I always think those are kind of neat and interesting.
So I have plans for Trident's New Alliance to have a big flashback arc that will go back and tell the story of Trident's Alliance, what happened with the group, who was in it, why did they disband, and so that'll come up in the ongoing series once that team book gets launched. I've got about 6 of that comic book written already. So yeah, I'm champing at the bit to get these done because I'm so excited to get them out there. I don't want to sound conceited, but I can't type fast enough to get some of this stuff into a script because I really want these stories told, and they're all up here. I want them on the page. Oh yeah, so you can see on the cover of Trident's New Alliance there, the big red dude. Mm-hmm. He becomes a part of the hero team, but you'll see on the Siamese covers, at first, they have that big superhero misunderstanding where they got to fight first.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yeah, right there. So yeah, on issue #1, he's in the background there. On issue #2, you can see Siamese and Breathtaker fighting with him in a casino.
Classic trope there.
Right.
Okay, so the Siamese will be part of the alliance as well.
Yep, that's them on the ottoman and the chair. So yeah, the alliance, I'll start at Deanna and then go left. Sitting backwards is Boost. She can improve and increase the powers of those around her. Mm-hmm. Seated on the chair with his arms folded is the Countryman, sort of my homage to a Captain America type. Breathtaker's got her hand on his shoulder. Next to her is Psionica. I think her powers should be pretty evident by her name. Yeah. Then, of course, Siamese is there. Brickhouse is the big red dude. He's a shapeshifter. Dr. Primordial is the one with the red tunic and the sword on his back. Starstep is the team's speedstress. She's the one kneeling next to Siamese. And then in the front, acting like a hoochie mama, is Spice. And she's got like, I'll call it flame-related powers.
Okay.
So, speaking of diversity too, I don't want all of my characters, even I don't want them all to be, of the perfect size, of the perfect physique. So, for example, Spice, she's a little curvy,
Mhm.
and the book's not going to be about that. She just is.
Okay. Nothing wrong with
And
that.
to be honest with you, I like curvy women anyway. So, so there's that.
Brad's got to get his own little preferences in here.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm the author. And that cover there is also by that Brazilian dude, Zilson Costa. He's so good. I'm really glad he's on my team.
Soul started the Hammer Time links. That's right. Apparently, giant hammers is also a theme in our in these streams.
Hey, I wonder if we can overtake the werewolves.
Greg says Psionica on it obviously puts people to sleep, so she has Chris's superpower. That's right.
Nice.
Oh Lord. I can't catch a break. If only Sim was here. He could take some of the heat for me.
I was going to say, I think Sim would probably be bringing it to you as well.
He'd probably be agreeing with him. Dang it, Sim. Oh my. I do. Yeah, I am interested. So wait a minute, hold on. So if I click these covers, it'll take me to where I can buy them.
Yeah, go ahead and click on the compendium.
Okay, I'll do that.
Is it thinking?
Yeah, it seems to be unsure what's happening here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, it didn't, Chris. You gotta jump over here. Share the new screen.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, so it takes me right to Indie Planet. All right. So I can get a physical copy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
It'll look just like this.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll be.
And it's perfect bound. That's how thick it is.
Oh, so yeah, I'll be picking. me up.
Siamese will also be perfect bound, and like I said, one of the variants will be a hardcover. And I don't want to reveal yet who the cover artist is on that hardcover, but what I will tell you is they are very well known in CG.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for that reveal, but that's going to come in early April.
Yeah, that's tempting. Yeah. You're gonna get people excited there. I'll be like, who is it? Is it Preston Acevedo? Is it this person or that person?
It'd be neat if I had some people like on the day of the launch before I reveal it, if I could get some folks in there giving me their guesses.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, and
I
hey,
like
I could even make a contest out of it,
Yeah.
and the first person to get it right might get, I don't know, a print or a sketch card or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could do that to help drum up your interest and stuff, hype.
I'm going to do that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up after the stream here. Let's see. All right, so we'll put the compendium link in the chat. But yeah, folks, if anyone's actually interested in, or is interested, I mean to say, in these books, they go to his website. You just click the title like I just did there, and you can pick up a copy. That's pretty cool. I like seeing that there's people doing stuff, just outside of just Indiegogo, finding other ways to sell their books and different things. You said you've done, obviously here Indie Planet, also through was it Amazon? You
Right.
said?
Yep.
Yeah. How does that work for you? Is it? It must have been doing pretty good because you've been doing it. So,
Amazon it's a great platform to sell your books, but they're not very intuitive as far or they're not user friendly as far as I'm concerned, or maybe it's just because I'm a boomer. But I was really struggling with getting them out there. But they're out there. So, but if you search on my name or Dojo Kun Comics, you only get one or two of them. I've reached out to Amazon, like, how come they're not all on the search? And I really don't have a good answer from them on that. So I would suggest just going to my website, clicking on the covers. In fact, on my website, all the way at the bottom, there's a few of those from the other small press companies that I worked for. You can click and buy as well. The issues of Shadow Faction are available on my website, for example.
Oh, sweet. Hey, I'm going to stop sharing that. Okay.
What's cool about Shadow Faction is the artist on that is G. Perez, which grabs everybody's attention. What? George Perez?
Yeah,
No,
like, what?
sorry, it's Gabriel Perez, but he's pretty good.
Like, wait a minute.
Oh man, wouldn't it be something to have the greatest artist of all time do one of my books? That would be George Perez. I know not everybody agrees with that, but George, I'm sorry. In my opinion, there's only a few that even come close to George.
Yeah, he actually really is a great artist. Let me see. Share audio. Well, I don't need audio, but okay, yeah. So if you click on the Shadow Faction, it'll bring up the Indie Planet as well.
And you can see that Quen Tong was my letterer even back then. I've been working with her for a long time. She's great to work with. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that too much, because I'll get a bunch of you guys out there trying to hire her, and she won't have time to work on my stuff.
Exactly. You gotta be careful. Hyping all your help up. Greg will come in and how do you say, poach them or whatever.
Right. Yes. Sweep them up.
Greg will come in and be like, hey, you want to come work for Brain Cage?
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm gonna sign up if it'll let me. Some reason I don't know if I sign up for stuff, but I don't know if it's actually going through, because I never get the whole verification link or email from Indiegogo anymore, where it's where you got to go in on the email and hit the button to confirm.
Right.
I don't get that anymore.
Huh.
I don't think
I've heard some other folks saying that's been happening. I haven't had that happen to me yet, but yeah, I've heard the same from others.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm actually getting signed up for all these mailing lists, because I don't get Indiegogo emails anymore.
Have you been receiving any updates from those folks?
From some, but I don't know if that's because they're not directly through Indiegogo. Because I've noticed I don't think I've been actually getting the little Indiegogo updates anymore showing up. Because I used to get constant just Indiegogo.
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting any of them anymore, and I don't. I looked and I didn't see anything blocked or anything like that. And so I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that.
Huh.
I've checked spam. I've checked unwanted. I've checked everything. So I don't know why it's doing it. Oh well. I'll still back it when it comes out. So that's all that matters.
Appreciate that.
Greg says Shadow Faction is a very good title.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Yeah, I've been reaching out to the owner of that small press company. I see that he's not been publishing for a very long time. I'd really like to buy my own IP from him and start putting Shadow Faction in the Dojo Kun universe. But so far, we haven't connected. I don't know that he'll even be willing to do that, but if he likes money.
If he's not doing anything with it, and he needs the money, why not?
When I wrote those three, I really liked the characters. I'm not patting myself on the back. I mean, the characters were fun to write, so I'd really love to continue that story. And he has published the first 3 issues, but I had 7 written.
Oh wow.
So I'd really like to keep that going and maybe even fold them into the Dojo Kun superhero universe, um, like like Marvel did with the Malibu very
Mm.
briefly, and what was the other thing they did? They had Prime and
Yeah,
Mantra, and
yeah. That universe, I remember those.
so I'll find a way. There's a million comic book tropes out there that I could find to dimension hop the whole group.
Yeah, I mean DC has what was it, Grifter from like the
Oh
Wildcats
yeah,
and stuff in their universe now.
what was that? Top Cow? Is that where Grifter and Zealot and all those characters came from?
They came from Image, didn't they?
Well, Image had a bunch of like subtitles. There was Top Cow that was an Image brand. There was Eric Larson's Savage Dragon was an Image brand. Spawn
Oh,
was.
oh, I didn't know Top Cow was part of Image.
Yes.
Just how much I know.
Well, I've been a collector of comics for 47 years now.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, in fact, in 2014, I actually sold 80 boxes, 80 long boxes of my comics. I so regret that. Oh my God, do I regret that? But
That's a lot of books.
I have a lot still, and but yeah, I'm only collecting back issues now. I collect
Mhm.
very little new releases. Um, but I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm sure that folks in CG understand why.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but I collect everything She-Hulk. And by that, I mean every appearance of She-Hulk, whether it's just a cover appearance, a cameo appearance. She's on a billboard in the background in one issue of Daredevil. I bought
Mhm.
that issue. I have every appearance from 1980 through 2014, and I'm filling in some gaps after that. So she's been in, I think, like 4,000 comics, and I've got close to everything she's been in or on. Now, the only thing, though, I've got to complain about is when Marvel does something like 70 variant covers of Secret Wars #1,
Yeah.
some of which are, store exclusives you can only get at Mile High Comics in Colorado or Midtown Comics in New York. And
Yeah.
the day they're released, they're $125 or something. So for
Mhm.
someone like me who's a completist collector, that's very disheartening. That's like a defeating kind of thing. And a lot of people say to me, well, hey, you don't have to buy them all. It's like, you don't understand somebody who has Asperger's
Yeah.
syndrome. I have to have them all.
I need this.
Just yesterday at my local comic shop, they had penciled versions of Alex Ross's uh, all of I think they're called Timeless, where they're just the solo Avengers. He's got a She-Hulk and a Namor, a Black Panther, and because they're so rare, it was $100. And I'm staring at it's a She-Hulk, so I'm like, oh man, how can I couldn't justify it, so I walked
Yeah.
out without it. I'm heartbroken.
Well, it might come down in price as time goes on or something.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eye on it.
Greg says Top Cow is Silvestri Studio,
Yes.
Wildstorm is
Yeah,
Jim
that's right.
Lee's. Okay, and he says Zealot is Wildstorm.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yep.
Soul says that's a lot of long boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was actually gonna. I was almost gonna buy 2 long boxes on Saturday, but I didn't get to go to the auction to get them.
Oh, okay.
I was so frustrated.
I just recently sold on eBay my Hulk number 181
Mhm.
and paid off my car.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well, it's the first appearance of Wolverine, so it's
Yeah, that's probably quite pricey.
yep, it was. It was a
Uh,
9.8.
oh wow! Soul saying to you, skip the Man Beast She-Hulk book of recent years.
Yeah, John Byrne, when he wrote She-Hulk as a member of the Fantastic Four, that was the ultimate. The characterization he did during that run was phenomenal. But then when he wrote Sensational She-Hulk, he kind of made her the butt of his jokes. He was so enamored with his own cleverness that I kind of didn't like it. The art was still top notch. But
Mhm.
I didn't like that he put her against all of the very D-list or G-list villains, Machismo and Razorback and Sprag the Living Hill. It's like, come on, dude. But and he had her breaking the fourth wall way before Deadpool ever did.
Yeah.
I did some research to see was she the first one to break the fourth wall, and in fact, she and Animal Man did it at the same time.
Oh
But
yeah.
but way way earlier than that, Superman broke the fourth wall. At the end of many Superman comics, he would turn to the audience,
Mhm.
say something that meant it was an inside joke, and wink at the reader. So
Hmm.
Superman was breaking the fourth wall as early as like the 60s or maybe even back in the 50s.
Oh wow.
So way, way before it was cool.
Yeah, I didn't
Or well,
know.
I guess maybe people thought it was cool. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Who was the first character I remember that broke the fourth wall in a book? Was it Ambush Bug or whatever his name was? I can't remember.
Keith Giffens. Yep.
I remember getting one of his books. I think I had his number 1. I can't remember who all I had. Greg says 2 variant covers is the best amount.
Oh, sorry, dude. I got 5.
It says I have OCD, so I can relate, bro.
Yep.
I can understand that frustration of the variant covers, like that collector mentality is like, well, I want to get the whole set to complete my collection, and it's like, good gosh, though, that's a lot. You gotta get like 20 variants, and it costs like an arm and a leg.
I would even be willing to buy into it if there was something different on the interior too. If there was like maybe just a couple of pages that were different that made it unique, but if all of the interior is exactly the same, the only thing I'm paying $125 for is the cover, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's hard, because then you gotta, like you said, justify all that extra expense, and it's hard to do that. Oh, so fucked up his links. Okay. Oh boy, what time is it? Oh wow, it's already 1:25. I actually gotta start wrapping this up then.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Siamese and all of my other projects. Uh, Stay tuned. I've got a lot in the hopper, as you can see here, a lot in the queue with the trading card set and Mega War and Deanna. But like I've been learning recently, a lot of it's going to be either complete or close to complete before we launch, so people can back with confidence.
Yeah, so do go sign up for Siamese, everybody. I apologize, Brian, if this wasn't the most high energy, fun filled stream.
No worries. No worries.
I will. I jumped out of bed and came down immediately, and didn't really have a lot of time to get woke up and ready to go. And then, of course, I don't have Mr. Sim with me, and he's a vital part of these streams. So I do apologize, but of course, I plan on having you on plenty more times to make up for it, because
All right, cool.
you're going to certainly have plenty more projects to promote.
You bet. I look forward to it. Thanks so much, Chris.
Oh, no problems. So everybody, do go check out Siamese and sign up. Thanks for joining us, everybody in the chat. Mr. Soul, Yodam, Mr. Cox, Greg, Mr. Feed, obviously, and everybody else. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. And I'm going to try to have on Mr. Kimosabi to talk about company men. Thanks, everybody, and talk to you later.
Hail the chat.